Would it be possible to seal Mahoraga inside of the prison realm? Let's talk about it. This is a fascinating question because it's basically what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. We're told that there is nothing the prison realm can't seal, but also that Mahoraga has the ability to adapt to any and all phenomena. So what wins here? Alright, so to really get in the weeds on this, we got to talk about a couple things. First off, we're just going to assume that you are able to capture Mahoraga, meaning you're going to keep him within the radius for the full 60 seconds in order to trigger the capture, right? So we're not talking about that aspect of it. We're talking about once you have captured him in that way, could he adapt and break out? And to talk about that, we're going to have to get into the weeds on exactly how Mahoraga works. Because at the end of the day, he's a product of a curse technique, right? The 10 Shadows uses cursed energy to create Mahoraga, but that doesn't necessarily mean Mahoraga is composed of cursed energy or even that Mahoraga uses cursed energy necessarily. Now, I think the easy thing to assume would be he does use cursed energy, but we don't know that for sure. We don't know that his adaptation is a curse technique. His adaptation may just be a part of who he is fundamentally. And because we don't have that answer, it's hard to say how this would work. And just to be clear here before I confuse anybody, I know Mahoraga can wield cursed energy. We see him use it against Sukuna, right? What I'm asking is, does he have to use cursed energy? Do his abilities stem from it in the same way a Jujutsu sorcerer's would? Or was it just one of many weapons at his arsenal? The reason this distinction is so important is because I think it determines whether or not he can break out. Because we know when Gojo gets captured, he says, I can't feel any cursed energy in my body. I can't move a muscle either. So it cut him off from his cursed energy, therefore his curse technique, he was basically helpless, right? So if Mahoraga operates on cursed energy and his adaptation is a curse technique, then it would be shut off by the prison realm as well, meaning he will not be able to adapt and break out. However, if Mahoraga's adaptation is not based on cursed energy, is not a curse technique, then I think he would be able to adapt to the prison realm's seal and break out. So I'm really curious which side of the fence you guys are going to land on here. Do you think he would be able to bust out, or would you think he'd be screwed? I'm legitimately pretty torn on this one because I think you can make a compelling argument for either side. Sure, he's summoned with cursed energy, he's summoned with a curse technique, we've seen him wield cursed energy, so it's easy to make the assumption that he's kind of like a sorcerer, and so getting cut off from cursed energy would prevent him from using his adaptation. But he is summoned. He's not just created with cursed energy. He's summoned from like another dimension, I'm pretty sure Gege mentioned in an interview somewhere. So it's possible that his abilities don't stem from cursed energy and he would still be able to adapt even without cursed energy. So I don't know. I really don't have confidence saying either one for sure. I really want to hear y'all's opinions. Shout out to Nicholas for the great question, really got my wheels turning, and cards on the table, if you're going to make me pick, I'm leaning towards Mahoraga would be able to escape. Next, really quick, I had this question from SAT who wanted to know if I have tried Kagurabachi. And yes, I was actually reading this from the first chapter release. And I think I made it about 10 or 12 chapters in. But back then, it was just such a huge meme. Like, I was enjoying it. The artwork is beautiful. But because it hadn't really picked up yet and it was just a meme, the translations were so bad that I was reading that it was really hard to keep going. But now that we've had a bunch more chapters under the belt, I'm going to get back into it and probably just binge it and catch up sometime soon. But I'm more so focused on catching up on One Piece before I get into other series. And then finally today, y'all, I am still looking for whoever sent me this because I cannot find the question that this is in reference to. So if you sent me this, please reach out to me, DM me on any of the platforms, and just let me know what your Cash App name is so that I know it was you, so that we can get this handled for you. Anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.